to Poor Consult's YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll talk about major events happening in crypto in the last 24 hours. We'll focus your attention onto the major headlines of this industry and see together what's going on there, whether there is something worth paying attention to, and trying to keep you guys in the loop. So, if you like the content, then let's jump right into it and see what's happening there. And the first piece of news coming to us from Binance and United States Securities Exchange Committee, saying that it's a bad day for Binance with SEC investigation and routers exposed. So, SEC Securities Committee is reportedly suspicious that the world's biggest crypto exchange, Binance, sold unlicensed securities in its ICO that took place in 2017, over 5 years ago. Alright, so just for you to a short reminder that Binance is the world's largest crypto exchange and BNB is the 5th largest cryptocurrency as of today according to its market cap. So, it's worth mentioning that Binance founder and CEO Changpeng Zhao, which you obviously have heard of him, in 2020's blog post, he mentioned that the BNB's white paper was changed in 2019 because there was a potential for being misunderstood as a security in certain regions. Definitely, he was referring to United States because I don't think he was afraid of any other exchange committees or regions or regulations in other countries. But obviously, he was afraid or worried, we would say, that was possibilities of Securities Exchange Committee going after them, and that's why some wording in its white paper of BNB was changed, has been altered in 2019, but obviously didn't help, and now SEC is definitely after them. So, and among those cases, among Securities Committee, if we add some oil onto the fire, we'll see that on May 6, Reuters published a lengthy special report saying that Binance has processed at least 2.35 billion of transactions from hacks, investment frauds, and narcotics sales between 2017 and 2021 and had weak know your customer and anti-money laundering protections for those years. You probably know that nowadays you cannot open a Binance account without passing this verification process known as KYC by providing your identity documents. And prior to 2021, if I am not mistaken, there was no KYC there, and it probably was easy for some entities, some hackers or persons and involved in criminal activities to open the Binance account and just launder their illegally gained funds through Binance and make them clear and tidy. So that's of course a bad sign, a bad thing for Binance. And then among other cases, the news agency also mentions the hacking of Etherbase, with some of the proceeds being laundered through Binance by North Korean hacker group Lazarus and the Binance's association with the Russian language drug mart Hydra. Alright, so that's another bad news for Binance, and that's all for this topic, guys. Let's see how it evolves later on, but obviously that's not good. And if you look at the BNB, if we in the last 7 days, obviously 24 hours, 8% down. It was trading at around 310 a day ago, and now it's 281. Yes, you see this crash in here, these red candles, this line going down. That's due to that news. All right, let's hope everything goes back, because this is the biggest exchange, so we can't afford any bad consequences from that event. So the next piece of news, again, Cathie Wood, Ark Invest. These guys have been buying crypto like crazy recently, and nowadays it says that Bitcoin fundamentals remain strong as short-term holders show signs of capitulation. If we look at this graph, we'll obviously see that around 65.7% of Bitcoin hodlers would say that haven't been active for a last year or more. The number uh, closes to 66% for all of those Bitcoin supply non-active for a year at least, meaning that long-term hodlers are definitely holding on their bags, not selling anything. Besides this Caribou's Ark Invest, we also have the MicroStrategy that has taken on these guys, MicroStrategies. They have taken on 2.4 billion in debt, not with their money. They've taken a debt of 2.4 billion to buy Bitcoin. Oh my, these people are really they're all in crypto, I would say, especially MicroStrategy with Mike Saylor. This guy that purchased 129,000 bitcoins is making its first move to add the flagship cryptocurrency to its balance sheet in 2020. So since then he has bought 129,000 bitcoins. Just think of it. So we have crypto regulations. I want to draw your attention to these two key announcements to watch this week, which might affect the markets, might become a reason of several green candles, daily candles, or might crash it further on and become a reason of bloodbath on the streets. So this week's schedule is rather intriguing, with two major announcements to keep an eye on. On June 9, the European Central Bank will announce its interest rate decision. So we are all eyes on central banks on June 9, and on June 10, United States and China will both disclose May CPI data. And why is it important? Because looking forward to this week's CPI data from May, investors' primary concern is that in their haste to restrict inflation's upside risk, if the numbers come up and we see huge inflation numbers, even a certain point up compared to our expectation, to the market expectations, all right, which currently I don't know how big is the market expectation, but let's say if it's 8% and then inflation number comes to at 8.3% or 8.1%, if it's higher than those expectations, then probably central banks will over tighten monetary policy and send the worldwide economy into recession. However, guys, this is this prevailing concept and the fears nowadays in the market, saying that if the inflation keeps on getting higher and higher, then the central banks, obviously, first of all, mentioning Federal Reserve, the US Central Bank, so they will tighten their monetary policy and will lead the economy into the recession, into stagflation. And the point, what I want to say here is that I don't think, even though I think there might be some interest rate hikes, but it's not possible for them. It's not we don't say possible, everything is possible, but it's not feasible for them to continue interest rate hikes and drive economy into recession. Because why is inflation bad? Inflation bad because it decreases people's purchasing power, makes their lives worse than they have been living before that. And now, in order to fight this inflation, what are you doing? You are actually worsening their lives and pushing the entire economy into recession. Is it a good move? Would people be better off if they wake up and find themselves in a stagflationary economy without jobs, starvation all around, recession everywhere, and wars and some bad, worst things that you might imagine? Nobody wants a recession, right? So if we still are not in a recession but just having a mild or even strong inflation, but if you are fighting the inflation, then after your fight, people and the economy should be better off, not finding themselves into a recessionary trap. Saying that, what I mean is that the obviously Fed and central banks all over the world are not stupid enough or at least I hope so, and they won't drive by their actions. They won't tighten this monetary policy, extractionary monetary policy, up to the degree that is dangerous and leading to the recession. Obviously, to my as I think, to my on my opinion, will never happen, and we won't see the Fed itself drive the economy into recession. If they do, then they must commit a suicide. I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen. So, and finally, the last piece of news. This video is getting already too long. It's coming from, if you look at this chart, this is Bitcoin's unrealized profit and loss chart. As we seen in this graph, as we can see in here, a metric that is a measure, this net unrealized profit and loss metric is a measure of the overall unrealized profit and loss of the network as a proportion of the market cap. It indicates that less than 25% of the market cap is held in profit, which resembles the market structure equivalent to pre-capitulation phase in these previous bear markets, like in 2020, 18, 19, 15. And based on previous capitulation events, if a similar move were to occur at the current levels, the price of Bitcoin could drop into a price range of 2000, I mean much lower, right, in these levels, probably 2500 and 2600 to 2500 or up to 25,000 level in a full case capitulation scenario if it happens. So what it says, what we read on from this chart, it probably, yes, if there will be more pain, I mean, it's probably there we are still about to face some more pain and about $4,000-5,000 more downturn in the upcoming weeks or so. So in the case of a full capitulation, yeah, but who knows, maybe we'll bounce right from these price levels and go higher. Let's see, let's hope. And yeah, that's all for today, guys. I mean, a little bit of pessimistic news, a little bit of positive news, but definitely we should be realists and evaluate the markets as the way they are. Thanks for watching, and see you all in another video. If you like the content, make sure to smash the like button and get subscribed to this channel. We'll bring you everything, most important headlines from cryptoverse on daily basis. Thank you. See you.